Hello, everyone. This is Andrew, the Archon Philosopher, talking philosophy to the philosopher in all of us. In fact, that's probably the topic today, the philosopher in all of us. But I know the title looks a little heated, and perhaps it is, but really I think it's a plea more than anything. But let's get into it and take a look at and see what I mean here. Well, we got three words here: physics, astrophysics, and metaphysics. We see the similarity in the word physics, and I study metaphysics, and I'm a metaphysician, but nobody's going to call me a physicist. I really don't think so. I don't think they like us very much in the physics community or even in the astrophysics community, although they do bandy about the term metaphysical a lot, But why is it the case that astrophysicists are now calling themselves physicists, and physicists are accepting this? This is the question. Why have those two subjects sort of merged into one? Because physics over the last 500 years has been so fantastically successful with modern physics, and now this is what we're talking about, modern physics. So it's been so vastly successful in discovering our world and letting us know what it's about, and electricity, internal combustion engines, computers, all of this stuff has been as a result of modern scientific experimentation. But why are they now inviting in an observational science group? They didn't invite in the metaphysical people, and our field is theory. Our field is theory. We just take findings of all as we could say, facts of the world, anything that's reality, and then we make a theory about how it all came about, or how is it that there's something rather than nothing. But we have different types of sciences, a lot. We have hundreds, really. And one type is observational science. You can check this out. There's definitions, and it's a scientific field where controlled experiments are not possible. So you cannot apply the scientific method. And so scientists observe and record events, and that's it. And then they make these statements, and that seems to be part of the problem. And then we can compare that to modern science, which is a scientific field to study the natural world through experimentation, the modern scientific method. And then you have testable explanations. So we can test all of this. This is the great one. And we should not conflate the two. They are different. And the issue for philosophers, and indeed for the philosopher in all of us, is this question of epistemology. Epistemological confidence equals trust. This is an issue of trust. And epistemology is just how we know what we know. And we have certainty, levels of certainty, and at the highest level is modern science, the findings of modern scientific experiments. Not theories on that, but the findings. The theories are the province of the metaphysicians. And you have to have training, and one of the trainings is that you are very epistemologically secure. And this is what separates us from the esotericists and others who maybe don't apply a critical epistemology, a self-doubt, a little humility, maybe, is what we want to put in here. And in terms of using verbs to describe stuff, and I get this all over the place now, with findings of modern scientific experiments, yeah, we can use the word is. This is that. This is strong enough. This material is strong enough to make a bridge out of. And they are so very confident. We have trust. We drive across that bridge because they use the word is. We like this. The buildings will stand. We like this. The material is strong enough. But then with observational science, we might be better off with a might be. And let me give a little example here on the difference. Let me give you an example on observational science. And so you're up in a building, you're looking down the street, you see two guys throwing punches at each other. Okay, so this is what we observe, and we all agree on that. So we have this. This is subject to modern scientific experimentation. We can test the light coming to our eyes, and everyone agrees. Okay, But then we can ask, are they fighting or are they pretending to fight? Well, we know some actors like to do some method to get into the role that they're going to get into, method acting, I guess it's called. So it might be that, it might be a couple of friends horsing around, but are they fighting or are they just pretending to fight? Are you willing to bet your house on it? Let's put some skin in the game. And, well, they might be fighting. You got 6 people, they might be fighting, they might not be. You're not willing to bet your house, let alone your life, on this. This is observational science. Now, you might say, and I've said this before, you might say, well, statistically, 80% of the time, if they're throwing punches on the street, they're fighting and not pretending to fight. That's fine. That's bringing in statistical science, another type of science, in on this. But in looking at astrophysics, we're looking up at a unique event. This is a unique event. Why are they using the word is? Why are they doing it? Please don't. Let's take another example closer to astrophysics. You've got a pirate scope on a stand. You're looking out there. You see a yellow flower. Is there a yellow flower? Now, we can agree that the light we see is that of a yellow flower. But unbeknownst to everyone, except maybe me, they're just looking at a high-definition monitor with a movie showing a flower blowing in the wind. And so, no, they're not looking at a yellow flower. We don't know. Epistemologically, there's no trust in this because we cannot go and verify it. We cannot test the explanation. So, in the case of the guys on the street, we can go down and ask them. Now we've got a modern scientific experiment. With the yellow flower, we can walk up and see, oh, look, there's a screen. We're just looking at a screen. Then we can ask, well, is there a yellow flower? Well, the answer is still, we don't know. Because right behind the screen, there is a yellow flower. And on until you have control over the elements of an experiment. You cannot use the word is or is not. So this is a problem that one type of science, modern physics, and now physicists don't want to call themselves modern physicists. They just want to use physicists and introduce in this confusion. We have confusion between observational science and modern science. And so in astrophysics, we have some element of the science which is subject to modern science. We can detect the wave frequency here on Earth. The light comes down. We can agree on that. We can discover this thing, redshift quantization, which really should not be happening. Then observational science, okay, they see this spinning thing up there and they call it a galaxy. But all we really know is the light. That's all we know. We can't go out and test this. This is a problem. We have other things that they've named, but to name the configuration of lights, this is perfectly fine. But to then make claims about it, conclusions about it, and to use the word is as opposed to might be. We also have in astrophysics, mathematical poetry, black holes, and dark matter. This is a priesthood. None of us have any access to this, and these people are talking like it's part of our reality. It's not. It's not. It's only observational science. They cannot draw conclusions using the word is. They can only say might be. And, we have pure theory of Big Bang. You look out and you see this. And apparently new observations are throwing this out into doubt with the James Webb. I don't know. It's just too many might be's conflated with is. And this is a problem for metaphysicians. We had taken the great scientific advance of modern physics and we absorbed it and said, holy cow, we've got to look at this very deeply. And the quantum realm came out, and this was confusing. And a lot of is for might be's, a lot of theory confused for the findings. The findings are secure. In quantum mechanics, the findings are secure. They're repeated, verifiable, falsifiable, measurable. These findings are secure, so we have to take them. But I think metaphysicians were a little thrown off balance, and maybe there's a time for an introspection because a lot of people are trying to coattail. I think there's a coattailing going on. where you want the certainty of modern science, and so all scientists are saying, I'm a scientist, just like modern scientists. Well, no, you're not. Metaphysics is not a modern science. It is a science. There is a systematic method to gain knowledge, but it's not a modern science. And it can be tested at some point, maybe. We can test some metaphysical theories, and others are not falsifiable at all. So we're here at this juncture where it's a plea. As I said, it may be a plea that modern physicists should use the word is. The bridge is of a certain strength, and we know this, and we drive over it, and we have skin in the game, we risk our lives. And yeah, there may be problems in construction or events that no one saw, like the bridge that wiggled in the wind. Yeah, there's issues, but nevertheless, these bridges stand. But for observational physicists, for astrophysicists, and others that are only observation, you cannot draw conclusions that use the word is. You just cannot. Epistemologically, you're destroying trust for any one who has a philosopher inside and wants trust. So you have some humility, use might be, so that we're not confused to say that, oh, this is something, and so metaphysicians, which is a little bit in everyone, we now can put it aside and say it's a might be, and we'll go for what is, and we'll base our conception and operations within reality on the difference between an is and a might be. So, I hope this is food for thought for someone, and that we can get rid of this chaos that we're currently in and get back to looking at reality as we see it. And this is what I've done. It's radical, I know, but if we just separate out the theory and use the correct words and get to the confidence in epistemology, I think we can get back on track and, get some answers that we need to get answers for before we start, changing might be's for is all over the place. Anyway, all of this is in reference to figuring out where we are, because when we know where we are, we will know who we are, and then we will know what to do. And thank you again for supporting this channel, liking, subscribing, looking at the book, and we'll see you next time.